Hello everyone, anyone, no one, hello. Welcome to episode 9 of Hot and Dirty in Brazil. It's raining, doesn't mean it's not hot, but I shouldn't be dirty. I'm getting cleaned here. Hello Robert, welcome mate. How's Robert tonight? Hope you're well. I'm doing good myself. Don't like that. What's that? No, it's that one. Yes, so that it would be that one. Okay, that looks a bit more better. Yeah, okay. Hey Alexander. I'm good, thanks Alexander. I hope you're well. That's okay mate, we all get busy from time to time doing stuff. It happens. Just felt like playing this for a bit and I thought I'd stream it. Might as well play this save game rather than another one. And it's always nice to interact with you guys. Saves me sitting here talking to myself. Although I'm not sure, sometimes I think I am talking to myself. No, just fooling around. We didn't have a greatly successful stream time, all of us, over the weekend. Hey Drummer Casey, welcome mate. Saturday went quite well. We didn't have any real problems, but yesterday was a bit of a nightmare. Poor old Brummie couldn't get into the game. Yeah, that's true, Alexander. Yeah, you can't talk to a video. Well, you can, but, you know, people might drag you away in a large white coat with really long arms. I have days or nights where, you know, I don't want to do absolutely anything at all, so I'll sit and watch a few Netflix movies or binge watch a series that I'm interested in. That doesn't do you any good. So, I hope you're all having a great weekend. You had a break, a chance to do something pleasurable. Yeah. My weekends are usually the same weekend after weekend. Well, my weekends are 7 days long. I made a new stand for my monitor. Okay. Out of what? Out of an old still. Nice. And you painted it up. That's good. I made, when I was younger, of course, I made my whole computer desk, even made a tray at elbow height underneath the desk. There was a tray there where you put the mouse, so you weren't, you didn't have to cock your wrist or bend your arm at all. You just reach forward and there was the mouse at a flat, comfortable level. Had that on it, and monitor stand on it to raise the monitor up a little. Yeah, it was great. It slowly died over the years. We moved house a few times and it slowly fell to bits, but it was great, you know, for quite some time. And certainly I never got back to, you know, got around to fixing it or making another one. Yeah, that can happen. I had a microphone do that too. It took it a little while to die because it started playing up, and if I wheeled the wires up close to the plug, it would start working again. It'd be fine for, you know, a few days, a week, and then it'd do it again. You give it a wiggle. You made a wheel stand. Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to really enjoy making different things. I used to make in my spare time. I made garden furniture, and not only out of wood but out of steel. I was a boiler maker when I was working, and I used to make all sorts of garden things and even indoor things. I made candle holders and out of wrought iron and made them look all old, and yeah, I used to love working my hands. You got dead headphones, yeah. Oh, you pulled all the wires out, mate. Yeah, no, mine kept going until they must have lasted a good month or two. Just wriggling them every now and again, every day sometimes every couple of days. I finally gave in and bought another one. Corded microphones tend to get caught on things and end up yanking the wires out. You take them off your head and put them on the desk, and you roll your chair back, and of course you roll your chair over the lead because the lead's dangling on the ground. You deconstructed yours when they were broken? Okay. Oh, they are. They're very cheaply made, mate. No, they're not precision instruments anymore. No. No, they use very cheap components and slap them together pretty quickly. No, we can't live without them anymore now. Oh, where your soldering iron is, yeah. Oh, you might be able to fix them, mate, yeah. You could be lucky. I've got a couple of soldering irons laying around here somewhere. They're no good to you, but I had a real small soldering iron to do circuit boards and really fine work, and another just a standard one. Very handy. I actually made my own steering wheel and pedals. Oh God, 20 years ago. It's pretty rough and ready, but it worked. They used electronic servos, like the same as what they use on remote controls, aeroplanes and stuff, little servos that make things turn and work. Your dad's an engineer? Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, nothing more satisfying, I don't think, than making something yourself. Especially if someone says, wow, where'd you get that? And you go, yeah, I made it. And they go, what? Yeah. It can be pretty cool. I had grand plans of when I retired work, I was going to tinker around in my shed and make ornaments and, you know, candle holders and garden furniture and oddities and all sorts of stuff out of wrought iron and timber, and yeah, that didn't happen. My body won't let me do it now, unfortunately. That's right, pretty right, mate, yeah. The old stick welder will fix about anything. So, yeah, on the farm, yep. Yeah, I was out of work for 3 years, I think. Couldn't get a job at any of the engineering places. They were, you know, that no one was hiring because work was down, so I threw my stick welder in the boot of my car, angle grinder, my helmet, packet of welding rods. I went from farm to farm asking if they wanted anything fixed, anything welded, handful of tools with me. And I got by for, you know, quite a while. I had one farmer call me back almost on a daily thing. Yeah, can you come back tomorrow and fix that? You know, pretty cool. You're playing Farm Sim 17, 19, I mean, and just placed a silo on top of myself by accident. It just stuck now. I've never done that, mate. Never done that. Oh dear. You possibly, if you log out of the game, come out of the game and go back again, you might be right. Yeah, Drama Casey, half the time it will, yes. Yeah, some of the welders nowadays aren't. They study too much. They don't know practical application. They know the theory because they've read all the books. But practical application is 90% of it, not book reading. Over the course of my career, I had several apprentices work under me, and my God, some of them weren't. They wanted to be welders but had no idea. I agree, everyone should have a good education, but you can't read what it's like to do a job. You have to experience it firsthand. Everyone's still enjoying 19. Has everyone tried the 1.2 beta? I'm using it at the moment. This seems pretty good, pretty stable. I would imagine it will come out of beta fairly soon. Yeah. Yeah, we used to get, oh God, I can't remember what they're called now. We used to have our regular apprentices, which worked, you know, every day of the week long. And every month they'd go to, or every 2 months they'd go to university and do a week of, what do you call it? Yeah, a week of textbook. But, oh, you can't play it, drummer. But yeah, we used to get, oh, what do they call them? They were still doing school, like they was like, and they'd spend an afternoon, a couple of days a week, like 2 days a week, and they'd come there from say 3 in the afternoon till, you know, we finished. They'd do 2 or 3 hours work experience. That's what it was called. Yeah, we used to get them. And why can't you? Oh, you haven't got the system to play it, drummer? Is that the reason? I just naturally assumed you were. Yeah, hand-on experience. Yeah. Yeah, most of them stand there and watch. Yeah, they don't want to get their hands dirty. You do get the odd one that's really enthusiastic, that wants to have a go at everything, but is goddamn hopeless. But yeah. Oh, Intel graphics not supported. Okay. Is this the graphics card, mate? You need to up your graphics card to something better? Yeah, you use an onboard graphics. Yeah, no, this game won't run like that, unfortunately. No, you'll have to get a graphics card to be able to play it. How old's the computer, mate? I think I have an old NVIDIA somewhere, but I haven't been able to find it. Okay. You're going to need at least a 2 gig, I think, card. I think. I can't be too sure. I'd have to look at the specs on the web page, but yeah. The graphics card is atrocious. Yeah, still get good frames per second, depending on. Desperately, yeah, yeah. Well, I hope it happens, mate. I've suffered the pain of having an underpowered computer for a long time, you know, but. Thankfully, I've got myself something decent now. Takes a while. Unfortunately, you can't just go and, you know, grab one and tell them you'll pay them off $5 a week. That ain't gonna fly. Although we do have stores here that allow you to put down a deposit and pay per month, but I wouldn't do that because they end up charging you're an arm and a leg in interest. You end up paying half as much again, like a $3,000 computer ends up costing you over the course of the years, it ends up costing you $4,500, and before you've finished paying for it, it's out of date. So of course you're just digging yourself a bigger hole, so you take it back and say, can I swap this? And they do, they'll swap it, and they'll give you another more up-to-date one, and add what you owe onto the price of the next one. So you'd be paying all your life for something that's constantly getting yourself more and more into debt for something that's going out of fashion constantly. Paying them off, you know, isn't a good thing. There is another way, of course, too. You can lease them from, like, rent, you know, those places where you can rent fridges and TVs and things like that. You can lease them from those guys, and it will be updated free each time it needs to be. And of course, you have got the option to lease and then buy as well. There's that way around, but you do need to have a job and a steady income and prove that you can pay for it within, you know, reasonable terms. Yeah, you can't play DirectX 11 with that system, no. Yeah, you've got a bit of a problem there. You're able to play 17 though, aren't you, Drummer? I would assume you are, because it still uses 8, I think. Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I really loved 17. I played it to death. In saying that, I loved 15. I played that to death. I liked 13, but wanted more, if you know what I mean. But 17, yeah, it was really good. I do hope the wonderful modders out there that spoilt us to death with all the with previous titles do make their mods for this. I'm referring to people that made Courseplay and GPS and Follow Me and the AI vehicle extension. I really do hope that they find out and try to get those mods working for 19. Really do. They really enhance the game, in my opinion. It doesn't look like this rain's going to let up. I like the you can see the rain reflection, the wet look on the tractor. I don't know if you can see it in the stream, but it looks pretty cool. You can see it sort of wet, glisten in the sun. Looks pretty good. And unfortunately it still rains inside buildings. It does not rain anymore inside the tractor cab or a vehicle. which is great that they've managed to do that, but it still rains inside buildings, inside that house, the house down there, everything still rains inside structures, which is a bit of a bummer. But maybe in Farm Sim 2021, maybe they'll get around to sealing the roofs on things. Who knows? Yeah, as I was saying, we have a hell of a time yesterday in the stream. Brummie Farmer could not log in. He has the non-Steam version, the Giants version, and he wanted to try out the 1.2 beta. It's not a drama on Steam. You can do it. You can opt in for beta, and it will automatically download the beta. When you've finished with it and you go, nah, I don't want to play it anymore, you just go opt out of beta and it reverts the game to a previous version. But with the Giants version, you have to do all that manually, which Brummie didn't realise, and not at first anyway. He just assumed we'd all be playing 1.2, the beta version, but we cannot, because the dedicated server won't accept it yet. Dedicated server won't run beta gear, won't run beta items. So when he tried to log in, we said, what version are you using? He said, I'm using the new one, the beta. So you can't use that. You're going to have to go back and do the other one. So he did that. It took him quite a while. And, you know, he had to uninstall and reinstall. And then when he tried to join, it still wouldn't join. It attempted to. It told him he was synchronizing, it told us he was synchronizing, and then it would tell us that he was here, but we couldn't see him, like he was a ghost. But on his side, all he still had was synchronizing. It just locked his computer up at synchronizing. Anyway, after many suggestions and trials and do this and do that and turn your computer off and turn your net off and reboot everything and clean out all your caches. I mean, the poor guy, if it was me, I would have smashed my computer to bits and picked up the keyboard and flung it through the monitor. But he persevered and tried everything he could think of. He even went to the trouble of uninstalling the game yet. He uninstalled it 3 times and reinstalled it, but still couldn't join us. You were there, drummer, yeah. And anyway, I said, hang on, mate. I said, hang on a minute, I'm coming out of the game. I'll start up a game. See if you can join it. I'll start up a game on Felsbrum, or Bun, or whatever it's called. So I just did a peer-to-peer multiplayer. He logged in, come straight in as quick as normal. I said, well, okay, well, that's weird. All right. Log into our Stanzio Apache, because we have a server running with that running 7 days a week. Oh, okay. So he logged into that, not a problem. I said, okay, Brummie, now you host a game on the American map, whatever it's called, something port, Ravenport. So he started up Ravensport, did a peer-to-peer, multiplayer, and I logged in, not a problem. But they're standing there. I said, okay, I can't see what's going on, mate. You're doing all this. I said, try to log into the dedicated server again. Nope. It just wouldn't let him in to that particular map on the dedicated server. He could log into this map, Estangio El Pacho, on a dedicated server, but not Ravensport. So we don't know what's going on. I mean, we were all on there. There was 6 of us playing. But he just could not join. Even all of us logged out, all of us, and let him see if he could log in first in case it was one of us blocking him. Nope. Still no joy. So I hope he gets it sorted this week, or has it sorted by now. Not good when things go wrong. But as we always maintain, no matter when, it's very rare for us to have a trouble-free weekend of streaming. And we've been doing it for long enough now, our group. You think we'd worked out why we have bugs, but we get new ones pop up all the time. Something different upsets us, upsets a game, or one of our PCs, you know, never ending. Well, I might leave the rest of that picket straw up for later. Let's go and have a fiddle with the new 1.2 editing tool in-game. Because I placed some buildings here and made an absolute mess, which it's pretty hard not to. And it costs so much money to place buildings because you got to terraform. And if you have to terraform a lot, putting down a $30,000 shed can cost you $200,000, depending on how much terraforming you have to do. It's a little bit overboard, I feel. Okay. Let's have a look. Yeah, it remembers where I was last time, which is not where I want to be this time. Okay. We got lumps and bumps everywhere. What are we in paint mode? We don't want to be in paint mode. We need to be in landscaping mode. And there is a hump here somewhere. I remember. There. Let's see if we can smooth it out. Oh, apparently we're not allowed to do it there because I don't own that land. What? I own this bit. The hell? Must be the placeable there blocking it. That's good. Well, that's handy as well. It's good having that. Thanks, Giants. Come on. Ugh. Oh, let's go back to this. It won't even let me do the path there. Wow. Ah, okay. That's a while ago, mate. That is a long while ago. And why did it do that? Why did it... I've got it... Yeah, raise the ground. Why is it hollowing it out there, though? Brush strength. We need to change the strength. Left control and E. Let's make it a bit coarser. Let's make it a lot coarser. Yeah, that's a long time ago, mate. Oh, that's better. That's more better. Get rid of this lump here a bit. You can't get too close to buildings with the tool either, which is a shame. Be careful where you go with it. For some things anyway, not for all things. I like the idea of this. It's a bit of a pain that Giants have taken away the texture blending, which you used to be able to do. But I think you might be able to do that with manipulating the strength of whatever it is you're doing, because you can't do it in GE anymore either, which is a bit crazy. But I think you might be able to get around that somehow. I really think you could. I haven't tried it yet. I've been map building at the moment. I haven't been doing a lot, mind you. I have been taking my time because there's a reasonable amount new with the editor. Not a lot. You still got to do most things the same, but there's more things you've got to do. They've added stuff. Yeah, in one way I think it's good stuff, but in others I think, God, why? Why do you have to do the same thing sort of twice in two different ways? Which is essentially what they've done. Which is a shame. Made our life a little bit harder. But, yeah, in saying that, harder for a start, but we're going to get our head around it. Oh, shit. We'll get our head around it, and it'll be fine. We'll be doing it, you know. In no time, we'll be able to do decent stuff again. Not that there isn't any decent stuff out there now. There is, but I'd be careful too. On the other hand, there is some very nice maps out there, and they came out quite quickly. The problem with them is they were either built with the old bug version of 8, GE8, or the guys aren't quite sure what they're doing yet, and they're releasing these maps that aren't actually that user-friendly, want of a better word. They've got errors and bugs in them, but they're working on it, you know. They've released them, and now they're fixing them and making patches for them, and good on them for doing that. I like to have, as I did with my maps in 15 and in 17, I like to have them as close to 100% error-free and working before I release them to the public. I'd rather test it to death and get sick of testing it, get sick of the map actually, before releasing it if I'm not sure it's all going to work. Well, build that bit up there, or take that bit down. That's better. So yeah, I'm currently working on a 4x map. I have the Google Earth image, and I just need the motivation now to start on it. Well, do more than start on it. Come on, don't do that. Gee. Up heaps or up not at all. Come on, get it down in there. I don't think I like that big lump there. Holy, is there anything in between? Oh. I really didn't have many mods for 15, 17. On the other hand, over 3,000 in total. That's not many, mate. No, that's not many. Yeah. It's not many if you live in a city of 20 million people and 3,000 leave. That's not, 3,000 isn't many. But 3,000 mods? Really? Wow. I didn't have that many. I had a few hundred. Oh. I'm digging little ponds everywhere. Come on. Smooth out. You made me touch the field, you bum. Don't touch the field. This tool will erase fields too if you want to get rid of them. I don't know why you would want to get rid of them, but anyway, we'll do that. I don't know if I've made this better or made it worse, to be honest. Come on, come up. Yeah, oh, bloody hell. I mean, there is ways, like I said, there is ways to get an area ready for a shed without this tool, but it costs an absolute fortune. And the best way to do it, I know there's a leveling, so-called leveling tool out there, but I had nothing but trouble with that. I mean, other people may be able to use it, all right, but it drove me nuts. But I found the best way to do it is to buy the cheapest shed. I think, I can't remember how much it is, I'll have a look in a sec. Come on. Buy the cheapest shed, level it up by getting it up and down, getting it just right, placing it, selling it, and you're left with a concrete slab, pretty level. Then you buy it again, place it next to it, and so on, and keep doing that until you get a concrete slab the way you want it. It's this one here. Just the little one, this one here. It only costs 9,000, and each time you're going to lose 4,500 plus terraforming costs. But that's the cheapest way to do it, apart from the leveling mod that's out there. So, you know, you can do it that way. I have different folders for maps, mods that I play. I just switch them out, depends on what map I want to play. Yeah, that's the best idea. Never, ever, ever play with more than one modded map in your folder. Because the game itself comes with 2 maps. They're compatible. They use everything's very similar, so they won't conflict with one another, and they're in the game. But if you're having several modded maps in your folder, they can conflict each other, and you can actually get the maps bleeding into each other. I've seen it. I've seen you'll have a map with all the standard crops, right? And you've got another map, this is back in 17, you've got another map that's got oats in it and rye and all those other crops you could get in the other one, you know. And you'll be playing your map that doesn't have that. And you'll get errors saying that this crop cannot be planted, or there's no, or you'll get a great demand for ryegrass, or for rye crop. And you'll think, there's no rye on this map. But somehow it's bled from the other map and come into the game. It says there's a great demand at, and it leaves it blank because no one accepts rye. on that map. So you don't do it. You can. Well, I've personal experience in 15. It broke the whole game, having too many mods in the mods folder. Faulty mods with too many warnings, too many errors. I had to uninstall everything and reinstall the whole game because it corrupted the actual whole game. It's not worth the risk. If you see a mod out there that you'd like, have one of your save games with unlimited money. Load that up, test your mod in that save game, so you're not going to ruin another save game by trying it in there. Test it out, come out of the game, go into your My Documents folder where Farm Sim is, open up your log file and see if there's any warnings and errors. Now only do one new mod at a time. It doesn't take long. If it doesn't show any warnings or errors, it's safe. Go ahead and use it. And just do that each time. It doesn't take long. It's worth spending the time doing it. I do it for myself and for our group as well. I won't share a mod I've found with the others unless I've tested it properly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You know you've got a lot of mods in your mods folder when you start the game up, and you can get up, go to the loo, make yourself a coffee, grab a sandwich, come in and sit down and wait, still be waiting for it to load. You know you've got a lot of mods. The more mods in your mods folder, the longer it takes. But yeah, I have a folder where I keep all my maps in. I use the same mods like tractors, vehicles, sheds, items. I use them on all my maps. You know, I may not always use them all, but they're there if I want to. And I just have a folder with maps in it, and I just drop and drag the maps from one to the other, you know. What did I end up? Oh yeah, I was waiting to buy sheep, that's right. Because I planted a grass field. 14 was grass, I think. Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah, it's not showing. And the grass has... Oh, grass is ready. It is grown, so I can cut some grass for my sheep. That's good. And I do have chickens. I haven't checked my chickens. Make sure they're all happy and clucking in the wet. Couple of boxes there. Cool. And my chickies. I have 33 now. I started off with 30, I think. Yeah. Cleanliness, yeah. Chickens are always getting dirty. Now, there's another thing I found out. I used fast forward. Go into the house and really fast forward really quickly overnight when you go into the house and want to tell them you want to sleep. I found out the chicken spawner locks up. It just constantly repeats. No more room for chicken pellets or whatever they're called, because it's gone too quick for it. It's easy to fix, as you can see what I've done. I came over here to get rid of the message and to make it work again. I just dragged that one box off. It had one box there and said there was no more room. So yeah, just a word of warning when you fast forward through the night. At normal fast forward speed, it was fine. I tested that as well. It's just that fast forward overnight thing that it goes nuts. I'm not too sure what will happen with sheep because I haven't gotten it yet. But yeah. Well, let's have a quick look at my handiwork. Probably made a mess over here, did I? Well, that's no smoother there. I won't be able to fix that unless I buy that field next door. Oh, this seems a bit better. Yeah, well, this seems a bit better. Oh, this doesn't look the greatest. Oh, no, that's all right. I can live with that. Ground doesn't have to be perfectly flat. I mean, very unusual on a farm if the ground was perfectly flat and level. Any of the farms I've been on and worked on anyway. But yeah. I love this map, the fact you can hear the train. I heard the train toot its whistle just a minute ago. I don't know if you guys heard it. But you hear it every time it toots its horn because it does a pretty close rotation around the farming area. It's pretty cool. Gives the map a little bit of extra life. Yeah, I love the way you move inside the tractor now. You're not just sitting there stiff as a board. Gives it and the physics, I think, they've improved the physics a lot. The tractors seem to handle more realistically now, and yeah, like I say, in cab feels much better than it used to. Much better. The map I've worked the most so far is East Coast Hills. It's an Eastern Canadian map. Oh, okay. It does vaguely sound familiar. There was a few Canadian maps for 17 that were quite good. I quite liked them. I can't remember their names now. But yeah. The trees all around the edges of all the fields, which turned me off at first. Yeah, that can do that. The trees are nice, but too close to the fields can be a bit off. Not a fan myself. You're doing logging on it, okay. Well, that's cool. I don't like logging. Not a fan of it in real life. I mean, to say that I never did it is wrong. My dad and I used to go chainsaw reach out into the forest and cut trees for half the day for firewood and stuff like that. But to be a logger, no, I don't think I could handle that. Ah, you're making wood chip piles. Waiting for a great demand or something. I know on the map I did for 17 hard working 3. I cut trees off 3 or 4 fields, I think, to make myself more arable land. And I was selling I wasn't selling the trailer. Oh, well, I did. I sold one trailer load, and I thought, nah, this is painful. I'm just going to chip them all. I ended up chipping them all and taking them down to the wood chip sell place, and I ended up driving the price from 350 odd per 1,000 litres down to 50 by the time I was finished. And I watched and waited. I thought, oh, I better stop. And I kept myself a couple of, about 50, somewhere between 50 and 100,000 litres I kept. And I thought, I'll wait for those prices to come back up. This is ridiculous selling at that price. And it never came back up. I'd driven it down that hard, it wouldn't come up again. It was stuck at about 50. Oh, that'd be good, drummer. Yeah, I'd like that. I find it interesting, like there's a few channels out there, well, and ours, and Ice's channel that, you know, people pop pictures. I find it interesting to see what others are doing on their farms when they're playing, yeah. Yeah, 50 million litres. Yeah. Now, if you sell a little bit at a time, you know, maybe one load a day, you'll end up making some good money, but I just dumped it all. I mean, if it was real life, they would have closed the gates and chained them shut as they saw me coming. But yeah, I only do trees if I absolutely have to. If there's a need, like I need to clear an area, or there's trees all around the field where there shouldn't be. It doesn't look like this rain's going to stop. Must be a tropical storm. Oh, okay, yeah. That would look cool. Yeah, I'd like to see that, mate. Take a screenshot of that. That would be good. Whoa. Has that map got anything extra on it, Drummer, like industries or other things you can do besides cropping and animals? It's got any other things? I know, like I say, I can't remember the names of the Canadian maps. I played for a bit and tried out. Oh, okay. So it's just pretty much straight farming, okay. Too many industries can be a bit of a pain, but Ice is one that doesn't like the industries too much. Because he can't be bothered doing them. And I said to him, they're not there, that doesn't mean you have to do them. They're like the missions. You don't have to do missions. But to have industries on the map where you can take, you know, example, like a compost maker. Or example, there's a flour mill somewhere that, you know, take wheat, barley and corn to, and it makes flour pellets, and you can take them and sell them. They're all optional. You don't, but if they're there and you get bored or you feel like doing that sort of stuff, you can. But if they're not there, all you've got is straight farmland, which is fine. Yes, Robert, still raining here. Raining in Brazil. Hot, wet and clean in Brazil. I have to change the title. It was one of the first of the maps that came out. Oh, was it? Over here at Maxville and Maxdown by WW. Oh, okay, W&N Modding. Yeah, I think I remember that. You've tried many factory maps, yeah. Yeah, I have too. I like Stevie's ones. And there was a couple of others that I liked. I can't remember them. I'm terrible with names, so apologies for that. But yeah, I'd like to have a couple of industries to give me something else. Another interest. I mean, the missions are good in 19. I'm glad they've upped the game on that, and the fact that now we can again do them in multiplayer. Why they took them away in 17, it's beyond me, because you could do multiplayer missions in 15. Maxville has that $100 million lettuce silage bugger. Did you check Border Canyons? Did I check Border Canyons? I'm gonna say no. Doesn't even ring a bell. I'm not saying I didn't. Like I say, names. Not a fan. And it's got nothing to do with age. I've always been that way. You did? See? You sure? I'd remember that. No, I wouldn't. I'll have to double check. I can't remember if I did or not. Oh, I'm terrible. Oh my God, that'd slow you down too, drummer. 1,000 screenshots in that folder. That would slow you down. Last Monday, okay. I'm assuming I looked. If I didn't, I apologise, and I will double check. I may have even forgot you linked it to me when you told me. My memory is going. It's not much worse. I've always had a short memory. Unless, you know, when it comes to really important things, I don't forget. Unless it's my wife's birthday. I remember that. Never forget that. But yeah, I'm sorry to say I have 4 kids, and I don't remember any of their birthdays. It's terrible. I feel guilty. Just something I can't, retain. There's only 3 people's birthdays I've remembered my entire life, or since I've met them. Here's my own, of course. I don't forget my own birthday, my mother's, and my wife's. They're the only 3 birthdays I remember. And my mother's not with us anymore, but I still remember her birthday. My father, I have no idea. I don't even know what month it was. Memory, it's a fickle thing. Yeah, you're close, Robert. You're very, very close. You're within a day of it, yes. Very, very close. Glad to get the straw off this field. Got my nuts. I think they've upped the output of straw in 19. There seems to be a lot more straw in the fields than there used to be, and a lot less grain. So I don't understand their thought behind that. But in saying that, yes, there is a lot more straw stalks left than there is grain taken off a stalk. So maybe they rethought that. There's good money in straw. It's not something you want to, because it's absolutely no benefit in 19 of spreading it out in the field. Absolutely none. Like in 17 when you had the mod, what was it called? What was it called? There's another name. Shit. Oh, what was it called? You know when you spread the straw out the back instead of doing swathes? Whatever that was called. Anyway, when you did it in 17, it gave you a fertilisation layer if you cultivated it in or ploughed it, which would happen in real life. It would be partial fertilisation because it would enrich the soil. You get the effect here in 19, but it gives no benefit. Chop straw, there we go. Thanks, drummer. Yeah, so there's no point in doing that. You may as well do swathes. Pick it up and sell it, because it is good money in it. Yeah, that would have been nice. I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I was sort of hoping they were going to do something along those lines. Again, you know, these are all suggestions for 2021 farm sim. It may happen, may not. But I really do think they need to up their graphics. The game's engine. I know they've been sticklers of keeping to their own engine and updating it when necessary or when they're able to. But I really think they need to take a sidestep and rethink that. Not that it's not a great job. It is a great job, but they're making themselves suffer for things they cannot do because the game engine won't allow it. Well, there's so many game engines out there that would. So hopefully they'll come around and either use someone else's or start working on another graphics engine, game engine that you can do more things with. I think by 2021 they'll have to. They really will have to think about it. Oh, this is a nice improvement from 17, but it's not as big as I would have hoped. But fingers crossed I'm still around with 2021. But like I said earlier, our wonderful modders out there that do make such great scripted mods, you never know. Never know what's around the corner for them. and what they'll be able to achieve with this, or if they can achieve it, because of some of the changes. You never know. Maybe it's not possible anymore. I hope not. I really hope not. There we go, folks. It's all raining through the roof. Gotta love it. But, like I said, that may have come to. At least it doesn't rain inside the tractor anymore, or the trucks, or the harvesters. So, that's a plus. No, mate, I haven't seen Andy for ages. I send him messages almost weekly, hoping that he'll, write back. I'm worried. I won't say I'm not, because we talked, several times a week for hours, and then he just disappeared off the face of the earth. No word, no nothing. And we did that for 12 months, probably. We didn't know each other personally, but we got to know each other fairly well, talking on Discord. That's a shame. I hope he's all right. But I haven't given up. I keep, like I say, keep sending a little hello message, hope you're well, every week. So hopefully one day he'll respond. He'll log on to Discord and go, whoa, there's 150 messages from Johnny. Or maybe he has logged on and thought, oh my God, I'm not replying to this. Look at all these messages. He might think I'm a stalker. So, no, I hope he's well, and I do wish him well. He's a great guy. He did a lot for the farm sim community, in all, He's a brilliant man. I'll stop saying was. He is a brilliant man. The things he could work out and do with giants, with the LUAs and the scripting. He was a genius at that. But anyway, enough of that. Thank you, guys. This will be it for tonight. It is now 10 to 11 p.m. and I've got to get up early and play with those nuts at 5:30 in the morning. So we will be back. I will be back at, like I say, 6 a.m. my time for about 2 or 3 hours, about 3 hours of, we have planned to go trucking. We're not sure whether we're doing ATS or ETS, but we'll be doing something, even if it's not trucks. I hope it is. We haven't played trucks for a few weeks because, Farm Sim 19's taken over. But yeah, hopefully we'll be there doing that. I hope to see you there. Thank you again for popping in. Hope you're all well. I hope you stay well. And until next time, you all take care. Bye-bye from me.